Thank you for taking the time to watch this video on out-of-district credit. During this video, I will provide you with an overview of what can be submitted for credit, the best ways to choose coursework, the approval process, the timeline for approval, and then I will walk you through the process of completing an application form. So let's start with what can be submitted for credit. Any course offered by a provider from out of the district who provides a certificate or a micro-credential can be considered for out-of-district credit. We do not accept college courses that have been transcripted. Additionally, it is important to note that you will only receive credit for courses earned during your employment with APS, and all courses are subject to an approval process. The approval process is actually a two-step process. During the first step, our system administrator reviews the application to determine if it is filled out correctly, the dates and the times of the application are applicable for salary advancement or just CDE renewal credit, whether the certificate is attached and it has the appropriate information necessary for CDE, including things like credit hours, course title, etc., and that the details on the certificate match the information provided. Additionally, he checks the provider against our unapproved provider list. If the application doesn't meet any of these standards, he will return it to you for revision and resubmission. Once the application is approved in step 1, it is reviewed a second time by a member of the professional learning educator staff. In this review, the provider is evaluated to ensure that the content they are providing is rigorous and/or timely job-specific content. The course description is from the content provider and that the summary and application are complete and clearly stated. So how do you choose a course you know will be accepted? The first step is to visit the professional learning website. We have several resources that you can use to ensure that your course will be accepted. Included on the website is a list of providers that have been pre-approved. We recommend that you choose one of our recommended providers. This is not a requirement, simply a recommendation. The institution you do choose will be vetted to ensure a rigorous and appropriate level of professional learning. A provider and therefore credit can be denied at any time. We also have a list of providers that will be automatically declined because it has been determined that they are not a reliable source of rigorous professional learning. So please be sure to review this list prior to choosing any course. Both of the aforementioned lists can be found on our PL website and are updated periodically, so you do need to check back frequently. So when will your credit be approved? Because this is a system that relies on the staff of the Professional Learning Department for approval, the timing in which the course is approved or denied depends upon the workload of the team. What we do guarantee is that if your application is completed by 3 days prior to HR's end-of-month deadline, your application will be reviewed by the end of the next day. If you have questions as to what that deadline is, you can visit the PL website and find that matrix. I would suggest reviewing the matrix to ensure that you have your course in on time. Several months, like November and December, have early HR deadlines. I want to also point out that we in the Professional Learning Department do not have anything to do with the awarding of salary advancement credit. This is done by HR. So while we award credit through Performance Matters to your professional learning transcripts, we do not actually award the salary advancement. In order to do this, you will have to submit your professional learning transcript along with any college transcripts you may have to HR for processing so that you can receive the salary advancement on your paycheck. If you have any questions, please contact the appropriate person on your screen. These are the HR community assistants who handle salary advancement. At this point, if you have all the information you need, please feel free to stop this video. In this next section, I'll be walking you through how to actually complete an out-of-district credit application form. So now I'm going to walk you through how to actually complete the application to ensure that it is accepted the first time. So let's navigate to Performance Matters. You may notice that my screen looks different from yours at times. Please understand this is simply because I have different rights than you do. Either way, you will navigate to out-of-district credit. Once you have gotten in to the out-of-district credit page, you will create an out-of-district credit application. And then from here, the best thing to do is follow the instructions. So in my case, I'm going to add a conference. The conference I'm going to add is Unbound Ed Winter 2020 Standards Institute. And so I am going to go ahead and paste from the website. I'm just taking the title. As you can see, the course number is not required, so if there isn't one, you don't have to worry about it. The name of the organization offering the course, the name of the offering coursework, and as you'll notice, there are instructions that you can drop down, and it says to write the complete name. So we'll do Unbound Ed. Okay, the start date, which you should be able to find on your documentation that hopefully you've saved. You should save all of the documentation from a conference just as a practice. So this one was February, how about February 2020? Let's go up. 2020, February, and it was the 14th through, calendar it here, up, February, I did that wrong. It was February 10th. So let me change that real quick, through the 14th. There we go. Start and end times for the coursework. So it's looking for the simple times. Hopefully you kept a schedule. I happen to have the schedule for mine. And so I am going to take a look at the schedule really quick, and I'm going to see that our day started from 7:30 to 4 every day. Oops, I missed my 4 there. 7:30 to 4 every day. Number of contact hours earned. You can actually find this on your certificate. And so you should have your certificate available because you will need to upload it as well. So I'm going to pull up my certificate really quick here on a different screen. And on my certificate, it says that I have 38 hours completed. So I'm going to go ahead and add 38 as the total number of hours. Where it says organization's published course description, if you look at the drop down, it says, please provide this course description provided by the hosting institution. I will tell you this is one of the places that I most frequently end up returning a person's application. It's very simple. All you have to do is go to hopefully the overview page or the, sometimes it's an arguments page, just the description of what you're going to be learning. And you can simply copy paste it. That's all we're asking for. In this case, the system wants you to Control V to paste. And there's my course description as provided by the hosting institution. That's all you have to do there. It says attach the copy of your certificate. So you just need to make sure that you have your certificate. And for me, I know it's right there because I already had it prepared and downloaded. And there's my certificate. When our systems administrator comes in, he will take a look at this and he will check to make sure, as I said earlier, that it's got your name on it, the learning that you did, and how many hours it was. He also checks to make sure that there is an official signature. That is one of the things that the system administrator does, and he checks every single certificate. So then, if it's a multi-day conference, I have to attach a conference schedule. So again, I will take a file, and I've already done that. So I will go ahead and attach that file, which has the conference schedule on it. And all I did was download it as a PDF. You may need to download it and convert it to a PDF, and that's fine. So then the last thing I have to do is summarize the learning and its application to my position. So in the summarize the learning and its application to your position, you need to know a couple of things. This is another section that I send back a lot. And it's for the very reason that you either haven't summarized the learning or you haven't told me how it applies to your position specifically. I don't expect an extensive summary. However, I do expect the learning to be summarized in at least a couple of sentences. And then how does it apply to your position specifically? So how is it going to apply to your practices? How has taking whatever course or conference shifted your thinking or shifted your practice? Again, it doesn't have to be a long explanation, but it should be clear to me what your position is and how your learning is going to apply to that. I have no way of knowing what grade level you teach, what your job code is, what I don't know anything about you from the document that I'm provided other than your name. And so if you tell me all elementary school teachers have to take this course, I'm probably going to send it back to you and say, please be more specific to how it will affect your job specifically. So take a few moments and just type out how it's going to affect your job. What was the purpose behind you taking the course? If it is a required course, I still will expect there to be some explanation of application. And so what I did is, knowing that I was going to apply for this, I wrote mine out in a Google Doc ahead of time so that I could just paste it in here. And what you'll notice is that it's not extensive, but I do summarize the learning, and then I talk about how it's important to my job and how I'm going to be using it. So that is really all there is to it. You will need to provide your official start date. Once you have that, you submit for credit approval. I hope this information has been helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to the Professional Learning Department, and we would be happy to walk you through any questions or concerns you might have. Thank you, and have a good day.